Now I'm going to tie a little sulphur fly. I'm going to wrap my thread over itself and bring it all the way back. And again, by holding that tag end of the thread at a 45-degree angle, you can wrap pretty fast and have your wrap stay nice and tight. Then when I get down near the end, there's two things you can do. You can save this thread, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the tail with that. I'm also going to be using lemon wood duck for the wings. I'm going to be using some light two of these hackles from a cream colored neck. I'm also going to use some tailing material, and I like this stuff. It makes a real nice tail on these light flies. So now we're ready for the tail. So I'm going to pick out a few of these fibers off of this tailing material. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to measure that. That should be maybe a little longer than the shank of the hook on this particular fly anyway. Usually it's about the length of the shank, but this fly, they seem to be kind of long tailed. So I'm going to wrap that on there so I have a nice tail. Now, with this extra thread that I have here, I'm going to try to pull that up between the tailing material and it helps to split the tailing material so it looks like two tails, because that's normally what these guys have, is a couple of little tails. Now we're going to bring this back to the bend. I'm going to cut that off. Now it's time for some dubbing, and I'm going to put a little wax on my thread. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, enough to make it kind of sticky. And then we're going to use our cream or our yellowish dubbing fur. And this happens to be a beaver dubbing, which is pretty nice. It floats well, and it's fairly durable. We're going to make our body, and again, this should be kind of thin. It doesn't have to be huge, and I may have a little bit too much on there, but I'm going to wrap it forward and we're going to get right about up to there. Now, what I like to do with these fibers, these hackles, is I like to clip them off right about in there, and then holding the two together, I'll clip the little individual fibers so that it makes like something to hold on to for when you tie these on. I hate it when they come out. We're going to hold that on there lightly and tie it on. We're going to put the other one on there and wrap it on there. Okay? Now, we're going to take our lemon wood duck. I'm going to pick one of these out. Looks nice. And what I'm going to do is cut the center hackle out near the top. We don't want that in there. And we're going to take these, get as many as you can, and then clip them off. Okay, then you have that, and what we're going to do is we're going to spin those so they kind of all go straight, and you want the wings to be about the length of the shaft, so we're going to measure that, pinch it, and I'm going to clip it off right about there, and then I'm going to pinch that on top. Now I'm going to pull the string up between my fingers and then down and then pull up tight. And once you get it started, you'll be fine. Okay? Now I pull that forward, and again, there's other ways. Some people tie these on first and they tie them on facing forward, but I found this method is the fastest for me, and it works well. Now I'm going to put my finger right there. See how they're standing straight? I'm going to put my finger there, and I'm going to try to spread these wings, these fibers, to make 2 sets of wings. And if I can get it, then I push my finger forward slightly to hold them apart. Okay? And now I simply just bring the thread up and lightly go around the one side, maybe go again. Okay? So now they're separated. Now I'm going to pull this other side forward and go in between there. And this is what they call figure eighting. And we'll try to go through there and make them stand up. Nice. Okay? Now we have nice wings. We're going to wrap up to the front, the head of the fly. Now we're going to take our hackle pliers. We're going to grab one of these feathers, and we're going to start winding it forward. Okay? Each loop, each wind should be in front of the others. We're going to go right up to our wings and get as tight to the wings as we can. Then we're going to go in front of the wings and try to use as much of that as we can. Once you get it wrapped on there pretty good, we're going to do a couple of wraps, quick wraps around there to hold that. And we're going to grab the next feather and wrap that forward the same way. If I can get a hold of it. And we're going to wrap that forward. There we go. And we're going to clip some of these fibers that we got out there. And we're going to do some half hitches on there so it doesn't come apart. And there we go. We have a nice little sulphur.